tomorrow I will be 38 weeks pregnant. Any day now that David will be arriving, and we could not be more excited. A couple days ago, I dislocated my knee. Funny story, sort of funny now, still recovering mentally. So I was in our backyard walking around with Moose and Charlie, who is our neighbor's dog. They are best friends and they bumped me. It's not like they ran into me hard. They bumped the outside of my leg and my entire knee dislocated. I mean, it literally went like we would not have evolved as a species. Completely deformed, and it was excruciatingly painful. One of the most painful things I've ever experienced. And so I intuitively knocked it back into place. I literally took my fist and just bumped it back into place. I didn't even fall to the ground before I knocked it back into place. Then I fell to the ground, called my husband, and waited for him to come home. He was on his way to the hardware store, so he turned around and he had to lift me into the car. I did get an x-ray that night because it was swelling so rapidly, so no fracture. Praise God. I wanted to share this because I have just been meditating and focusing on how it could have been so much worse. I am so grateful that I am not in a cast. I am so grateful that I do not need to take painkillers. Yes, it's painful, but I can push through it, and it is getting better and better every day. So I was on crutches for a couple days, now I wear a brace a couple hours per day, and I can waddle around. I even vacuumed today. It took a long time, but I did it. I just wanted to thank you guys for your prayers. We really, really appreciate them. And I am just so excited to give birth. I haven't had any signs that it's like around the corner other than Braxton Hicks contractions. I do get those quite frequently. He has not dropped. My water hasn't broken. Obviously, I would not be making this video probably if it had. The mucus plug hasn't come out from my knowledge that I've noticed. By the way, that term might gross you guys out. My husband really can't stand it, especially when he's eating, but this is just life. Birth is pretty wild and radical, and I am so excited. So I thank you for your prayers, and by the time I post this, we may have David already, so I'm super excited. When we do have David, I will be taking 10 days off of client calls to just soak in that time with our new baby, and then I will resume coaching calls per regular. So that's a little life update. I am in my studio. We don't have the full setup, so Tyler really is helping me set up. He got all these awesome lights, and I'm going to be working with a videographer to edit my videos, so I will be sending him this video to edit. So if you notice the quality is different, that's why, and we will see how that goes. I'm super grateful and excited for this new year and what's to come. I am working with a lot of new clients, onboarding. I have a 3-week wait for new clients, which is the longest I've ever had, which is really exciting, and I am just really, really soaking up every single conversation. I feel like God has been pouring into me even more so that I can pour into others, and it's been a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's a little life update. Now about the topic, which is going to be brief as usual. It is about gout. Getting gout when you start the carnivore diet. Have you gotten gout when you started carnivore? I don't know if I've mentioned this in a video before, but I have had multiple questions on it recently, so I decided to make a video. Whether I've made one or not, I'm making another one now. So gout usually occurs when there's a buildup or rise in uric acid, and that buildup usually had been a problem before someone started a carnivore diet, and it could be just the tipping point. So one thing to be aware of is that uric acid and ketones compete for the same pathway. They're both of the same type of substance. They're both nitrogenous. And so when someone first goes keto and they've got all these ketones floating in their bloodstream, that could cause a rise in uric acid. It could definitely give you some symptoms or a flare-up or a gout attack. Does that mean that keto is bad or ketosis is bad or ketones are bad? No. It means that you had a pre-existing problem and it was triggered by ketone bodies. When you're fat adapted, and the longer that you're fat adapted, your body will become more efficient at using those ketones, utilizing them, and clearing them from your bloodstream. And so that should no longer be a problem. In the carnivore setting, that could be the case, ketosis. It could also be that meat has purines, and purines can give a rise to uric acid. But what I believe is more commonly the cause, and I say this because I've had conversations with these people asking, why did I get gout? Well, tell me about your experience so far. Almost all of them across the board have said, I was in the adaptation phases, and also many of them have said, I lost a ton of weight, and then I had a gout attack, my first gout attack of my life. So first of all, dehydration will raise uric acid. A lot of people do not get their electrolytes right when they are transitioning to keto or carnivore. You need more electrolytes, you need more sodium. I think an electrolyte formula, pre-formulated supplement would be ideal during transition because you have higher amounts of potassium, magnesium, etc. But if you wanted to use a Soul water, that works as well. That's SOLE, Soul water. So that could be one cause. And then the weight loss factor. When you are oxidizing your own body fat, that will raise uric acid, especially if you've lost rapid weight. So if you've recently lost a lot of weight and then you had a gout attack, please know it is probably associated with that weight loss. Does that mean weight loss is bad? No, it's just the process. You know, you probably had a buildup before you did this and before you had the weight loss, and now it's showing up. So the good news is it shouldn't keep happening. I don't believe that meat is the problem. If it was, we would not have evolved as a species. So that is hopefully some reassuring words for some of you out there concerned about gout, or if you have had a flare-up. I would encourage you to stay hydrated and be sure that you are getting your macros right. Be sure you're eating enough so that you're not losing alarming amounts of weight too quickly. That can cause all sorts of detox symptoms, not just gout attacks. Because remember, we store toxins in our body fat. So when you oxidize it, those toxins are released again. That can cause rises in your liver enzymes, all sorts of things. So I hope this helps someone out there. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I will look forward to talking to you guys soon.